My wife kept calling me paranoid. Then I found out she'd been lying to me for almost a year. I never thought I'd be the kind of person posting here, but I guess life has a way of humbling you. I'm 35M. My wife is 33F. We've been together for 9 years, married for 6. Until recently, I would have described our marriage as stable. Not perfect, but stable. We had our arguments like everyone else. We both worked full-time, had a house, 2 dogs, and were talking about having kids next year. Looking back now, I realize the problems didn't start overnight. They started with little lies. Nothing that seemed worth ending a marriage over. She'd tell me she was working late, but I'd notice her office lights were already off when I drove past. She'd say her phone battery died, even though she'd been active on social media. She suddenly started putting her phone face down everywhere. She changed her password after years of us knowing each other's codes. Whenever I asked about it, she'd immediately get defensive. Why are you acting so controlling? You seriously don't trust me? You need therapy. Eventually, I started believing maybe I really was the problem. I apologized more than I should have. I ignored my instincts because I didn't want to become one of those jealous husbands. Then things got stranger. She started going to the gym almost every evening. She'd bought new clothes. Expensive perfume she'd never worn before. She laughed at messages while turning the screen away from me. One Friday she told me she was spending the night at her sister's because they wanted a girls' weekend. The next morning her sister called me. She asked if my wife was okay because she hadn't answered any messages. I remember my stomach dropping. I casually asked what she meant. She said, "She never came here." I don't think I've ever felt that kind of cold panic before. I called my wife. No answer. Again. Nothing. Hours later, she texted me saying she'd fallen asleep and forgot to charge her phone. She insisted she had been at her sister's. Except, I had already talked to her sister. When I confronted her that evening, she somehow turned it around on me. You called my sister behind my back? You're invading my privacy. You embarrass me. She completely ignored the actual lie. Somehow I ended up apologizing again. I hate admitting that. For the next few weeks, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was seriously wrong. Then the biggest accident happened. She left her smartwatch charging in the kitchen while she showered. A message popped up. Last night was incredible. Can't stop thinking about you. My entire body froze. I wasn't even looking for evidence. It literally appeared in front of me. I opened the conversation. Hundreds of messages. Pictures. Hotel reservations. Inside jokes. I love waking up next to you. I wish he would finally leave. They'd apparently been seeing each other for almost 10 months. 10 months. While telling me she loved me every morning. When she came downstairs, I was sitting there holding the watch. She went completely pale. For maybe 3 seconds. Then she got angry. Not guilty. Angry. She immediately grabbed the watch from my hand. You had no right to look. Seriously? That was her first response. I asked one question. Who is he? She sighed dramatically like I was wasting her time. A coworker. Then the excuses started. We only kissed. 5 minutes later. Okay, it became physical once. Then, it only happened because you were emotionally distant. Then, I never meant for it to continue. Then, it wasn't serious. Every sentence contradicted the previous one. She cried, then yelled, then blamed me, then blamed depression, then blamed alcohol, then blamed stress, then somehow blamed the fact that we'd gotten married too young. I couldn't keep up. Every 10 minutes the story changed. I asked why she'd spent almost a year lying. She looked me dead in the eyes and said, "I didn't lie. I just didn't tell you." That sentence still echoes in my head. The next day another surprise hit. The man she was seeing wasn't single. He had a wife and children. I contacted his wife because I would have wanted someone to tell me. She already suspected something. We compared timelines. Turns out our spouses had been lying to both of us using almost identical excuses. Business trips, late meetings, dead phone batteries, family emergencies. Everything matched. Then another bomb exploded. My wife suddenly claimed she wanted to save our marriage. She begged. She cried. She promised therapy. She deleted social media in front of me. She blocked him. Or at least she claimed she did. For about 2 weeks, I actually considered reconciliation. Then his wife sent me screenshots. My wife had created a second messaging account. They were still talking. She told him I was too weak to leave anyway. Reading that hurt more than discovering the affair itself. Not because she cheated. Because she genuinely thought so little of me. I quietly contacted a lawyer. I didn't tell her. I gathered financial records, bank statements, mortgage documents, insurance papers. I moved important things into a safe deposit box. Then came the biggest twist. When she realized I wasn't arguing anymore, she became nervous. She kept asking why I seemed calm. One evening I placed the divorce papers on the kitchen table. She laughed. Actually laughed. She said, "You're bluffing." When I told her I'd already filed, her expression changed instantly. She cried harder than I'd ever seen. She accused me of destroying our family. She called me selfish. She told our friends I'd abandoned her during a mental health crisis. She conveniently left out the affair. Luckily, evidence speaks louder than stories. The people who mattered eventually learned the truth. The divorce wasn't easy. Nothing about it was. Selling our house hurt. Packing away almost a decade of memories hurt. Seeing wedding photos while sorting boxes nearly broke me. For months, I questioned everything. Was any of it real? Did she ever actually love me? Or was I just the safe option? Therapy helped. Friends helped. My parents helped. Even complete strangers here helped. I slowly realized something important. Trust doesn't disappear because someone cheats. Trust disappears because someone lies over and over until reality itself feels uncertain. That's what damaged me the most. The manipulation. The gaslighting. Being told I was crazy every time I noticed something was wrong. It's been a little over a year now. Life isn't magically perfect. Some days still suck. Sometimes I hear a notification sound and my heart skips for a second. Sometimes I still wonder how I missed so much. But I'm happier than I was during that final year of our marriage. I'm sleeping again. I'm smiling again. I don't spend every evening wondering whether the person I love is telling me the truth. If anyone reading this is constantly being told they're crazy, paranoid, or too sensitive, don't ignore your instincts just because someone makes you feel guilty for asking reasonable questions. Communication builds relationships. Lies destroy them. And here's the lesson I wish someone had told me years ago. Never confuse love with endless tolerance. A healthy partner may make mistakes, but they don't build an entire relationship on deception. Once someone repeatedly lies, shifts blame, and makes you question your own reality, the relationship stops being a partnership and becomes a performance. Leaving was the hardest decision I've ever made. It was also the first decision in a long time that allowed me to finally start healing.